Hey there, Postal here. So as I've mentioned, don't remember if I mentioned it in YouTube videos or not. I know I mentioned it on my Discord and mentioned it specifically on live streams. Finding a balance right now between content creating and home life, specifically work life, as I'm now putting in 70 hours plus working 2 different jobs, is putting a strain on my ability to be a content creator. I haven't streamed in I don't even know how long. It's been a month probably. When I've got the time to create the videos, I try to create a video really quick and create a bunch of videos really quick so that way I've got them pre-scheduled out. My work-life balance, content creating balance has been severely leaning towards work, and so my ability to content create has been minimized. That's why I didn't have a video post Wednesday. Normally I have videos posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And it looks like I'm going to be posting late on Friday, as it is now 10:30 a.m. So I just wanted to give that kind of disclaimer at the beginning. I apologize that I haven't been able to be consistent about it, but that's not going to be changing anytime soon either, because my work life, family life, content creating balance is going to be severely skewed for the foreseeable future. I'm really hoping it doesn't skew anymore, because I love doing this, but this isn't my job, right? I'm not pulling in any kind of real income, not even enough to pay for the electricity to do what I'm doing, but I enjoy this. I really do. I miss live streaming. I miss interacting with everybody that I get a chance to interact with in that regard. And I really do like interacting with you all in the comments and things of that nature. So I can promise you that I'm going to be trying, but I just ask be flexible with me as I continue to try to do this and enjoy myself as I do it, and try not to get any more gray hairs or receding hairline any worse than it already is with the stress. But thank you, everybody. I know some of you have reached out to me about it, just asking, so wanted that little disclaimer at the beginning. Today we're going to be taking out a very, very pretty, very, very fun plane in the Tier 9 German heavy fighter. This is the Me-262 HG2, a plane I recommend everybody try to get at some point. Let's take a look at some gameplay. Alrighty, taking out this pretty beast. Tier 9 battle. Ooh, Buffalo time with that derpy derp. F-94D is actually a really good counter to this plane. So yeah. This plane also does really well in Tier 10 battles typically. I mean, going against Su-10s and EF-131s is not the best thing in the world to be stuck doing, but I like this plane because it's pretty well balanced, right? You don't have the speed and altitude of the Tier 10, the HG3, but I mean, you've got really good speed and altitude. I also like the fact that you've got both the bombs and the rockets. I know there's a lot of people that are disappointed that Tier 10 doesn't have, just doesn't have those air-to-air rockets. And I get that. The air-to-air rockets are pretty darn nice. No complaints about that. But at Tier 10, like, they're so infrequently used that it's not like it breaks the plane, in my opinion. And what I love about the Tier 9 here is we do get these bombs. These bombs are really nice because there's plenty of times that I've been stuck in a battle, killed all the aerial targets, and my team just can't flip the sector. And I sure wish I had some bombs. Hey, sir. Thank you, sir. Having bombs to be able to flip sectors is super nice. I honestly believe that I can get a Gabreski in this plane one day. We shall see. That being said, let's go ahead and drop some of the bombs right now. Right? No, glad I didn't. Glad I took an extra second there. On top of that, these cannons are actually the same cannons that you get on the Tier 10 ground attacker. And so they do some phenomenal work. Oh, I didn't even knock out that other ground target. They do some phenomenal work against ground targets, as we're about to see here. Shoot that ground target here. Oh, this is just a tent, so I mean, literally anybody could have gotten this, but... Somebody died in the sector right after I shot that. Like, what? Right before I shot it, I should say. Let's go ahead and move on with our lives. I don't want to defend the center. If we're moving this quickly against the enemy team here, let them take that center. Yeah, Buffalo Time is getting screwed over by RNG. The I-260 I actually quite like, but it can be very frustrating if the shots are not hitting. Let's go ahead and I'm just moving along with my life. There you go. You guys can get the center. You can do it. We might be shooting ourselves in the face by letting them take it, but if we defend it, the game's going to be over really quickly. Go. Make sure, 30mm cannons, make sure you're giving enough lead, right? They take a little while to travel to their destination. I'm going to go for the heavy fighter here just because it's got the same kind of maneuverability that I've got. Going for fighters can be a pain in the butt with this plane. There's been plenty of times where I have done a full pass on an enemy and like missed all my shots. I'm like, how'd they dodge them all? But I mean, 30mm cannons can be that. Oh, it's F-94D. He doesn't know I'm here, or if he does, he's not prepared. He's moving slow enough to where I can just, aim just a little bit in front of him and be fine. Alright, so they've got the center, so now we need to get the center. You don't mess around with that. I didn't mind them getting it. Now they've got it. Now we need to take it back, because that center will win them the game if we let them. And we don't want to let them. I should probably get some freaking health here, shouldn't I? But ain't nobody got time for that. See if I can't just kind of boost away from the I-260 as he tries to jerk me out of existence. Oh, is he still coming for me? Dude. You know I got rockets, right? I know you know I got rockets. And if you don't, you do now. One bomb drop. There we go. Don't want to go for that J7W. I've got better things to do with my time. Let's go ahead and drop that one there. Probably didn't even need to drop the bomb. I'm sure I can kill this guy in one pass. Yeah, and the bomb didn't even hit properly, so there we go. Moving on with our lives. Let's go for this 262, our little brother. Show him what's up. What's up, buddy? No, leave our bombers alone. Bombers are for me to kill, not you. There we go, knocked him out. Alright, so do we go for air supremacy? Come on, they're gonna capture that, I'm hoping. Capture it? Hang in there. You'll soon be hanging in there. We are hanging, sir. We are hanging. There they go. They captured that, so even us capturing this will not be air supremacy. We need to retake the initiative. Dang, I was like, do I need to fire my rockets? My cannons just didn't want a cannon. See if we can't knock out this heavy fighter. Aiming far enough forward. Perfecto. Hey! How are we doing here? Way to go. Victory is close. We are doing okay. Not that every battle's like this by any means. You know, sometimes you get stuck against, you get in tier 10 and you're going against the F-131s and all that kind of shenaniganery. And right there, I need to watch out for that MiG because he's just going to be able to turn back around on me if he wants. Need to watch out for this, you know, mountainside.
A large enemy force is attacking the military base.
Okay.
Proceed with caution.
I'm actually going to use my pneumatic control assist here to turn back around as quickly as possible. Come on. Hello? Quite sure. I was like, hello? Hello, sir? Knock, 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 knock. I was gonna say, he's gonna die no matter what, so let me just shoot him. Ooh, there's McDervis. How are you doing, sure? You got air-to-air rockets? I got air-to-air rockets. But I got the win. Pretty darn good. You know, when it comes to this plane, it's just maintain that speed. I'm top dog in this particular battle, but that's the same mentality when you're at tier 10, right? There's no purpose in dogfighting planes that can outturn you. That's a lesson you should be learning really early on, and it'll do you well at this tier as well. Let's take a look at the game. All right, so 16 kills, 3 ground targets knocked out without a real... I wasn't doing really well with my air-to-ground capabilities, right? My bombs were not on target. I typically get anywhere between 3 to 5 ground targets in a battle knocked out with my HG2, and that's why I think Agabreski's, you know, within my wheelhouse. 16 aerial targets, 1 more without dying. I would have gotten a Marseille out of that. A little over 10,000 aerial damage, a little over 14,000 ground damage. And, you know, this battle, though, was... We didn't have anything that was hurting us, right? The F-94 and the I-260 certainly can hurt us. There's no doubt about that. I know if I've taken those planes out, that they're got the capability. However, that being said, I've kind of set my plane up to be a defensive type heavy fighter. And let's see what I mean by that. So it's about the equipment, right? Mostly. You'll notice this item here that not a lot of people tend to use, and that's the navigational radio equipment. What does this do? Well, it helps your concealment. It also helps my enemy detection range. My thought process is, and I've mentioned this on my XF90 videos, my thought process is to kind of make my heavy fighter a stealth heavy fighter. If my concealment is improved and my ability to detect the enemy is improved, that means I'm seeing them much more quickly than they're seeing me. And so it's not about a dogfight in that situation. I'm able to come up with a plan of attack, an angle of attack, and have a little bit more control over the engagement. This works whether I'm going against heavy fighters, whether I'm going against, you know, something like a MiG-9 that's kind of built to take me down, or an F-94D that has the ability to, you know, going head on, has the ability to really hurt me, right? If I'm able to control the angle of engagement, I'm able to avoid those air-to-air rockets, or able to avoid that huge derp cannon that might be on an I-260, and that goes a long way to my survivability, because my survivability in this plane is not about boosting the hit points or increasing the ability to take damage, you know, the ability for the wings and tail to stay. No, my survivability on this plane is, you know, you don't see me until it's too late. So the navigational radio equipment certainly helps with that. I've got this completely boosted up almost all the way. It's at 470 out of 478. So my bonus characteristics of the accuracy, of my overall concealment, and then accuracy when firing at moving targets is incredibly helpful with this plane. But as I just mentioned, it's not just about the ability to not be seen and to see the enemy sooner. A lot of it's about that airspeed, that sweet, sweet, delicious airspeed. You may have noticed that my airspeed is at 96 over here. How do we have it at 96? And I'm sure there's some people that might even have it a little bit higher than that. But I've gone all in with my equipment for airspeed. None of it's experimental. None of it is nation specific. This is just your standard speed equipment, and it's boosted as much as I can get it, right? So I've got the ultimate polished skin. I haven't re-rolled any of this stuff, so it's just whatever I initially rolled on it. I suppose I could re-roll since I've got the credits for it. But ultimate polished skin, fully boosted out. So my cruise speed and acceleration while diving is maximized there. I have the ultimate uprated engine. So this is focused on your acceleration without boost and your overall cruise speed. Then you have the ultimate high-speed gas turbine. This is focused on acceleration with boost and your overall maximum speed with boost. The re-rolls on this, or the bonus characteristics on this, is engine cooldown rate, which is really nice. Like you want to be able to, the engine cooldown rate means that you're going to be getting your boost back quicker. So incredibly helpful, right? So all in with the boost. The other thing that's kind of odd for my build with this plane is the forward firing weapon equipment. I use reinforced bolt carriers. Why do I use the reinforced bolt carriers? Well, 30mm cannons can be iffy when it comes to gas operated action. Yes, your overall gun armament number will increase. Your rate of fire certainly increases. However, with my build, with my full-in speed build, I prefer to be able to hold down the trigger a little bit longer, especially when you're going against the fighters that you're trying to hit. Those little wily buggers. So with the reinforced bolt carriers, I have the ability to start firing a little bit earlier, adjust my aim as needed, and I'm still able to utilize the trigger to continue to fire. Plus the bonus characteristics typically allow for additional accuracy, even some rate of fire. I think there's even a 3% rate of fire. I've got just the 2%, so I've got the ability to re-roll to get an additional 3%. And then again, the cooldown rate, which will allow me to start firing sooner. Gas-operated action allows you to do more damage quicker, but your guns overheat quicker. Whereas reinforced bolt carriers allow you to do the same amount of damage, but over a longer period of time. And so that can help in situations when you're doing like the boom and zoom, and I've kind of already mentioned the fact that I'm able to just kind of hold down my trigger a little bit and adjust as needed. If I'm able to stick behind something, I'm able to just keep hitting them. And I've found this to be really effective for my playstyle. Not to say that there's anything wrong with gas-operated action. I prefer gas-operated action on 23mm and below. Really anything below 30mm cannons, I prefer gas-operated action on, because the 30mm and above just overheats so quickly typically with gas-operated action, and it's a little frustrating for me. Could go with something like long gun barrels that'll not have a negative impact to the accuracy, give you a little bit more range, or a decent amount more range on the cannons themselves. And I've experimented with that, but I just find the reinforced bolt carriers tend to fit my overall build a little bit better with that stealth build, being able to come in, start firing, hold down the trigger, and keep on keeping on there. As far as my consumables are concerned, my standard package, I've contemplated taking out the pneumatic control assist and putting emergency control system in here. Typically that would be the wiser choice. Being able to put your wings and tail back in will allow you to continue to have your speed that you have going. But what I've found with this radio build is, because I'm able to dictate the engagement, I actually don't get my wings and tail knocked out all that often. I do still get my engine knocked out from time to time, and we'll talk about how that's incredibly dangerous. But as far as my wings and tail are concerned, I tend to keep on hitting. Oh, this guy's trying to turn around. Peace out. I'm continuing on. They don't get the opportunity to even hit me. I'm just already gone. What I use pneumatic control assist for a plane like this is those situations where I'm not able to, or I need to desperately get my guns on target quickly. I think I did that in this particular battle. I could be wrong. I've done it in some previous battles where I'm doing like an up and over. I'll hit pneumatic control assist so I can get over quicker, get my cannons on cannons on target, get my rockets on target quicker, things of that nature. I'm not using it to dogfight P-51s or FJ-1s. I'm not trying to dogfight any fighters for that matter. I'm simply utilizing it to get to do a 180-degree turn as quickly as possible. Or sometimes if I've done something stupid and I'm about to crash into the ground, and I'm able to react quick enough to try to pull up out of that. The other thing that I am running into here is with my consumables, I've got a full speed build, right? I've got the engine cooling for that extra 10 seconds. I've also got improved mixture control, which is not necessarily what I would recommend everybody go with. Improved mixture control increases the engine thrust by 5% and your cruise speed by 2%. Speed, give it to me. Problem is, by taking these two consumables, I do not have the manual engine restart. I've mentioned this in plenty of videos before, but I'm going to mention it again now. I understand what I'm doing. I understand the repercussions of not being able to restart my engine. In a plane that's built around speed, this plane, XF90, you don't need to talk about tier 9s and 10s. If you're in a BF-110B, you're built around speed. If you lose your engine, you're dead, right? Doesn't need to be tier 9, 10. You could be talking about tier 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I understand that. However, you should be probably using the manual engine restart. I'm okay with dealing with the repercussions of that. I've gone all in with this build. Again, my thought process is with my skill set, that if I don't even get hit in the first place, then it's okay. I can tell you I do get the engines knocked out on this from time to time. They are just kind of hanging down there, and they are easy to get knocked out. And so be aware of that. For the majority of pilots, instead of one of these two items, you're going to want manual engine restart. Improved mixer control is really nice. It gives you that extra little oomph of airspeed. And so you might want to substitute the engine cooling for that. But I would only substitute engine cooling out if you're really good, if you're really diligent with your boost availability. If you're not good with your boost availability, like me, then you're going to want to substitute out the improved mixer control for the manual engine restart. And then universal ammo, because, well, why not? I mean, yeah, you could put in any various premium ammo if that's your thing. Yeah, universal ammo is fine by me. You want something, in my opinion. 5,000 credits, 10,000 credits, whatever it might be. This is World of Warplanes, not World of Tanks, so you're making credits even at tier 9 and tier 10 if you're able to have a decent game. It's not like you need to have a good game, you just need to have a decent game. So this is the HG2. It's really, honestly, the majority of pilots, it's their preferred plane on this line. As you go down the German tech line, I already kind of mentioned it, a lot of people are disappointed with the HG3, and then simply because it doesn't have the air-to-air rockets. I don't mind that. The HG3 has a significant amount of boost, plus it looks freaking sweet. Significant amount of airspeed, great altitude performance. Again, not that the HG2 has bad altitude performance, but you can see, just look at the airspeed difference. Part of that is because you don't have rockets on here. But at tier 10, the times that you use air-to-air rockets, it's few and far between. Because if it was true, then everybody would love the BVP 215. And it's not true. That thing's got 56 air-to-air rockets on it. You just don't ever get to use them, because nobody goes head-on at tier 10. The bots certainly don't. Some more doofusy humans might, but anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this particular plane. This was the plane that when I got to it, I left the regular 262 and I got to this plane. I wasn't liking the 262. Got to this plane and it was like, fell in love really quickly. It actually helped me when I went back to the tier 8 262 get better with that particular plane. Feel free to comment down below, I'll respond, or hit me up in Discord. We can continue the conversation there. Otherwise, have a great day and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.